Right, moving on from that, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today launched the much-awaited vehicle scrappage policy in the country, and this policy was launched today at the Gujarat Investor Summit, where the Prime Minister requested youth and startups to join this program. In fact, the vehicle scrappage policy, remember, is going to help in phasing out the unfit and polluting vehicles to make them in a more environmentally friendly manner. We will be discussing that in just a while from now with Arindam Guha, who's joining us from Deloitte. Arindam, do stay tuned with us. But first up, let me take it across to the Prime Minister. Listen into what he had to say.
नए भारत की मोबिलिटी को, ऑटो सेक्टर को नई पहचान देने वाली है। देश में व्हीकल पॉपुलेशन के मॉडर्नाइजेशन को, अनफिट व्हीकल्स को एक साइंटिफिक मैनर में सड़कों से हटाने में ये पॉलिसी बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाएगी। देश के करीब करीब हर नागरिक, हर इंडस्ट्री, हर क्षेत्र पर इससे सकारात्मक परिवर्तन आएगा। साथियों, आप सभी जानते हैं कि देश की अर्थव्यवस्था के लिए मोबिलिटी कितना बड़ा फैक्टर है। मोबिलिटी में आई आधुनिकता ट्रैवल और ट्रांसपोर्टेशन का बोझ तो कम करती ही है, आर्थिक विकास के लिए भी मददगार साबित होती है। रीयूज, रिसाइकल और रिकवरी के सिद्धांत पर चलते हुए ये पॉलिसी ऑटो सेक्टर में, मेटल सेक्टर में देश की आत्मनिर्भरता को भी नई ऊर्जा देगी। इतना ही नहीं, ये पॉलिसी देश में 10,000 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक का नया निवेश लाएगी और हजारों रोजगार का निर्माण करेगी।
That's, of course, Prime Minister Narendra Modi talking at the launch of the vehicle scrappage policy. Let's discuss that in detail with Arindam Guha, Government and Public Services at Deloitte, joining in. Arindam, appreciate you taking your time out and speaking with us today at ET Now. This is Ruchi Bhatia. Well, the government has formally launched the vehicle scrappage policy today. Some of the past issues, including the discounts that the government was asking OEMs to give, and besides that, any kind of incentives that the states will give, some of those issues have still not been resolved. In absence of these issues, not being resolved, do you expect the policy to really take off?
Well, I think, states which are prepared to offer those incentives will be the ones which will be able to leverage this opportunity, because, it's not really a loss of revenue for the state if you look at it that way, because what you're actually doing is you're trying to incentivize scrappage of old vehicles which have reached the end of their life, and instead you're incentivizing the vehicle owners to buy new vehicles through reduced road tax and waiver of registration charges. So it's not that it's a loss of revenue. Overall, I think it will be a benefit to most of the states. And of course, leave aside the environmental and road safety benefits which are associated with implementation of this policy.
One of the contentious issues, Arindam, was also whether OEMs will agree to giving, big discounts for scrapping the vehicles. The government was saying that OEMs should give about 5% discount, but OEMs were not in favor of it. They were sticking to the 1%, number in terms of discount. Do you see some kind of a middle ground being reached?
Well, I definitely see that, because you see, this is not the first country which has introduced this policy. And there are so many other countries which have done it. And I'm sure that there will be a win-win solution which has possibly already emerged or is likely to emerge. But overall, I think this is the perfect solution for even, giving a fillip to the automobile industry.
I was just going to ask you about, what is this really going to mean for the automobile industry? We have seen, at least in the first quarter numbers, the auto sector, while we are seeing some bit of a recovery coming in, they have seen the pressure on account of high raw material costs. But, going forward, given the fact that we do have a new vehicle scrappage policy that will look to incentivize people to get rid of their unfit vehicles, do you believe that this is the much needed fillip that the auto sector perhaps is looking for the next stage, for the next level of growth?
Yeah, I think, we have heard this issue being articulated by various auto industry associations in the past. There was quite a bit of demand for such a scrappage policy. And, we have already discussed the effect or the positive effect it can have on sales of new vehicles as they replace the older vehicles which are being scrapped. But that's just one part of the story. If you have these registered vehicle scrapping facilities, which are envisaged as part of the policy, and around 50 to 60 such registered facilities are envisaged to be set up across the country, if the scale really does pick up, there is expected to be significant recovery of all the essential ingredients which go towards making automobiles, whether it is steel, whether it's aluminum, whether it's plastic, whether it's some of the more precious metals, like lithium, etc. So I think once this industry, the scrapping industry, using scientific technologies for scrapping, picks up scale, there is likely to be a positive impact, a downward impact on raw material prices and improvement in availability as well.
Arindam, good afternoon. This is Cheryl also joining in the conversation. We've spoken about the impact that will have on the environment as well as the auto companies, but let's talk about consumers. How will the consumers actually benefit from this vehicle scrappage policy, as we're given to understand that it will first be implemented for the government-owned vehicles and then it will be passed on to consumers. So about 2 years more of time for it to be passed on to consumers, this particular policy. So how will the consumers actually benefit, for those who are trying to understand the scrappage policy better?
Sure. I think, consumers are going to benefit in 2-3 ways. One is, of course, people who have got old vehicles. As all of us know, the maintenance costs on such vehicles is typically quite high. Over and above that, there is the issue of regulatory compliance from time to time, because often we see state governments coming up with policies which are, impact them adversely. So they now have an opportunity to get some financial benefit out of scrapping their old vehicles, not only in terms of maybe whatever be the percentage, 3 to 5% of old vehicle, values of old vehicles, which are given to them either by the registered vehicle scrapping facilities or even the new auto, the auto dealership from which they replace those old vehicles. That's one benefit. The second benefit would be in terms of reduced road taxation and, one-time vehicle registration may also be waived by certain states. So that's a financial benefit. Secondly, of course, all of us know that on newer vehicles, you have a much reduced maintenance cost. So, which is why, I keep on saying that this is really a win-win solution for everyone, provided the implementation is effective.
All right, Arindam, we leave it at that. Thanks for joining us on the show, talking about the vehicle scrappage policy, how to be beneficial for the consumers as well as for the auto industry, and what are the aspects that one needs to take care of. That was Arindam Guha of Deloitte, who basically tracks the government and the public services department. Moving on, let's talk about Walk Hard, and it's yet another